be bought with money. After they leave, Kaiser apologizes to Elsa for going off like an unmanned rifle and deciding abruptly without consulting her. In response, Elsa says it's okay since she felt the same way he did, so they decide to go back to the residential district. Meanwhile, Meryl puts up a magic performance somewhere in the city and the people marvel at her tricks. So Kaiser and Elsa explored the city and found a small crowd gathered. So they wondered what was going on there and moved closer to see why the crowd seemed so excited. Just then, Kaiser spots Meryl on stage, presenting her last trick. Suddenly, she pulled off a trick and the crowd went haywire watching her juggling many balls. After the show, Meryl holds out a bag and tells the crowd to tip her if they want to. While Kaiser and Elsa cringe at the sight of their relative groveling for handouts, Meryl shamelessly celebrates her side hustle. Just then, Kaiser calls Meryl and Elsa points out that she's finally awake. Surprised to see them, Elsa lit up and greeted says, "Good morning." However, Kaiser reminds her that it's afternoon already. He then asks why she's doing a street performance, so Meryl says she only did it to kill time since neither of them were around. Just then, she flaunts a bag full of coins and says she got a lot of tips from her performance. Elsa then asks Meryl if she'd like to get a regular job since her skills could get her anywhere. However, Meryl blatantly refuses and says she prefers to be a cute freeloader. Elsa then asks Meryl how she knows they'll be there, and she says it's because Elsa had a list of potential houses and she was sure that Kaiser would choose the place between the residential and aristocratic districts. Kaiser then asks Meryl if she would have preferred to live in the aristocratic district, and she responds by saying she loves money but hates people who act arrogantly because they have it. She then suddenly hugs Kaiser and says that she would go anywhere with him. In addition to this, Meryl says she hasn't sniffed Kaiser in a long time. But Kaiser reminds her that it's only been a week. Meryl reveals that she'll die if she doesn't smell him at least once every week. While they enjoy the mini reunion, someone calls for help and Kaiser decides to check it out. The man then points out that the magic artifact that powers a fountain nearby has run out of magic, and if left the way it is, water will become a scarce commodity. Just then, Kaiser ponders over the problem, but Elsa asks Meryl what should be done. In response, Meryl says it's a simple problem that can be solved by pouring some magic into the magical device to recharge it and restore its pumping function. Hearing this, Kaiser volunteers to take care of it, but the man informs him that he can't pull it off since it took 5 top-tier wizards the entire day to charge it up the last time. Just then, Meryl tells the man to chill out because Kaiser has more magical power than the wizards from the royal palace. Suddenly, Kaiser places his hand on the device and charges up the entire fountain. Suddenly, the pumping function of the fountain was restored and the spectators exclaimed in amazement. After this, the man thanks Kaiser and asks if he's Meryl's father. When he confirms this, the man thanks Meryl on behalf of the commoners because her magical devices benefit the common folk. Hearing this, Kaiser gives Meryl a head rub while the people talk about how their lives have become better. After the man expresses his gratitude, Kaiser watches the man leave and commends Meryl for using her magic for the sake of the people. Just then, Meryl gets excited and asks if she's amazing. In response, Kaiser tells her he's proud to be able to boast about having a daughter like her. Just then, Elsa suggests that Kaiser goes to pick up Anna while they unpack his luggage. So the girls convinced Kaiser that Anna would be happy to see him, and he headed to the Adventurers Guild, a place he had not set foot in 18 years. While he stands at the door, he recalls being insulted while leaving the building 18 years ago. While he gets nervous about going back in, guard calls him and asks him to get his skinny behind out of the way. So, Kaiser gives way and apologizes. After this, the door was closed and Kaiser tried to talk some courage into himself. So when he opens the door, he finds a lot of people moving around and decides he's only there to pick up his daughter. Moreover, he figures it's been 18 years and no one will remember him. Just then, Kaiser stops a lady and she asks what she can help him with. Kaiser then asks if Anna is anywhere around. In response, the lady says Anna is working in the back room and offers to help him with whatever he needs. So Kaiser says he only came to pick Anna up, surprising the girl who then asks if he's Anna's boyfriend. Before Kaiser could answer, the lady gets dramatic and figures out why it's unwise to underestimate anyone. Eventually, Kaiser explains that he's Anna's dad and that he recently moved to the capital. Surprised by this, the lady exclaims and says he's the rumored Kaiser. While Kaiser wonders what she means, the lady narrates all that she's heard from Anna about her dad. She then adds that Anna is the fastest person that ever climbed the ranks of the Adventurers Guild. After this, the lady points out that Kaiser must be an amazing person if Anna speaks so highly of him. While Kaiser wonders why she's staring at him so much, the lady points out that Kaiser is just as young and cool as the rumors say, unlike her dad who's a perfect replica of a retired sumo wrestler. Just then, the lady says that Kaiser doesn't look like Anna at all, making Kaiser tense. Afterward, the lady says that they're both similar in the way that they're both beautiful. While the lady continued chattering away, someone spoke angrily behind them, and when they looked, they found Guard slamming his fist into the counter and demanding to take a request. Anna then calmly tells him that the request is only open to A-rank adventurers, and he's still a B-rank adventurer. Suddenly, Guard screams at Anna to solve the problem by making her an A-rank adventurer. In response, Anna reminds him that there are rules and adds that she would advise him against taking such a request since his current abilities won't be able to complete it. Because of this, Anna says she'd rather not have to send someone to look for his corpse. This infuriates Guard, who then gets in Anna's face, screaming and asking if she takes him for a fool. Exhausted, Anna says it's always the weak ones who don't know their true strength who cry to her over things like that. Just then, she looks over her shoulder and spots Kaiser. With a half smile, Anna makes a proposition for Guard to arm wrestle Kaiser, and offers to give him the request if he wins. Just when Guard recognizes him, Anna explains that Kaiser used to be an rank adventurer, but has been out of business for quite some time, which makes him quite rusty. So Anna adds that he's not strong enough to take the request if he loses to Kaiser. Excited to hear this, Guard laughs and challenges Kaiser to arm wrestle him. Surprised by the turnout of his plan to sneak in and out of the building, Kaiser agrees to the challenge, while Guard flaunts his bulky arms. Shortly after this, a table is set between them and Kaiser thinks about how the standards for the adventurers might have increased since he left, so he decides to go all out against his opponent. While Kaiser begs Guard to go easy on him, Guard gets all high and mighty with big talk. Just then, they grabbed each other's hands and prepared for the duel. Suddenly, the shots recalled and Kaiser crashed Guard's arm so hard into the table that he ended up in the air. While the audience watches, Guard crashes into the ground on his back and Anna announces Kaiser as the winner of the match. Meanwhile, the spectators talk about what just happened and wonder if Kaiser is human. So Anna stands over Guard and asks if he understands her better now. Later, while they head home, Anna thanks Kaiser for saving her back at the guild. In response, Kaiser asks what she would have done if he had lost the match. Anna then confidently says there's no way he could lose. Surprised by this, Kaiser asks if she's speaking as a guild master or as his daughter. In response, Anna laughs and says it's both. Afterward, Elsa and Meryl were pissed as they welcomed Kaiser and Anna back home. Meanwhile, Anna holds on to Kaiser's arm and smiles while announcing their arrival. Suddenly, sparks and lightning fly around the room as Elsa and Meryl berate Anna for holding hands with Kaiser. After stating all the reasons why it's wrong for them to hold hands, Anna calls their BS and tells them it's totally normal for parents to hold hands with their daughters. In addition to this, Anna points out that her sisters both lack common sense, so it's expected of them to act that way. After making her point, Elsa clenches her fist and says she won't be left out of the bonding experience, since she's been waiting for 4 years. So Murray stares blankly, feeling left behind, and suddenly rushes to hug Kaiser while sniffing him all over. Just then, Anna says she's just joking and calls her sisters cultured for taking advantage of the situation to make their textures known. Suddenly, Elsa withdraws herself and apologizes to Kaiser, who stood there like an antique street light. Just then, Elsa accuses Anna of doing it first, but Anna says she sees Kaiser as a proper man and asks if it's not normal to hold hands with a man like that. While Elsa freaks out, Kaiser suggests that Anna stops teasing her sister. In response, Anna apologizes while Meryl clings tightly to Kaiser. Anna then says she meant what she said, but when Kaiser asks if she's saying something, Anna says it's nothing and suggests that they have dinner. Suddenly, Meryl says her stomach is growling and Kaiser announces that he's going to prepare dinner. When Meryl asks what's for dinner, Kaiser says it's rabbit stew. He then tells the girls to go change while he makes dinner. A few moments later, Kaiser chops the ingredients and cooks the dinner. Just when the meal gets ready, Kaiser announces that it's ready, so the girls show up and fawn over Kaiser's cooking. After this, they bless the food and dig in while freaking out about how delicious it tastes. Just then, Elsa commends Kaiser's cooking skills and says she can never be satisfied with anyone else's cooking. Just then, Anna chips in that she might just end up being useless if she comes home to Kaiser's meals every day. Not wanting to be left out, Meryl says she's always been useless and doesn't mind keeping it that way. While his girls commend him on being able to do everything, Kaiser says it's not true. So he says Elsa is a knight commander who has leadership skills and can command a group. Anna is a guild master who can control and rule over organizations, and Meryl is a magical device inventor who has enriched people's lives by leading a technological revolution which will change the course of history. In addition to this, Kaiser says he can't do all that, but he's a father who loves his daughters. Hearing this, Anna points out that Kaiser is acting like usual and Elsa asks if Kaiser has any connections to help look for a job. In response, Kaiser says he didn't make many connections when he was young since he dedicated his time to being an adventurer, so he says he's fine with doing any kind of work. Just then, Elsa announces that everyone in the Knight's Order wants him to be their instructor. Appalled, Kaiser asks why they would want him of all people, and Anna says it's pretty obvious since they'd want to become a great swordsman like him. She then adds that Elsa talks about how he taught her everything she knows about the sword, so it's normal for them to want him as their instructor. Elsa then says she has received permission from the king and he can start the next day. Anna then chips in that it's really not a bad offer and assures Kaiser that he's the right person for the job. After this, Anna announces that she also wants Kaiser's help with the guild. When Kaiser asks what she means, Anna explains that the guild has been getting a lot of requests, and they lack people for the high-rank missions. So she says it would be great if he could help out with the requests since he wasn't a ranked adventurer before. In response, Kaiser gives an excuse by saying he's been inactive for at least 18 years, but Anna points out that it's not a problem since he overwhelmed a B-rank adventurer at the guild. Just then, Anna says she's seen a lot of adventurers during her time at the guild, but she hasn't seen anyone skilled thank Kaiser. While Kaiser feels awkward about her comments, Anna continues to compliment him. Just then, Kaiser agrees to help her out. But Meryl fires up and demands that Kaiser does street performances with her too, since she plans to start a troupe and make tons of money from it. However, Kaiser says he doubts if that'll happen, while Anna chips in that she has to go to school and graduate before all that. Afterward, in Wagenstein Castle, Elsa gives Kaiser a tour of the castle and takes him to the barracks, which will be his new workplace. When they arrived, Elsa commanded the knights to gather around, so they greeted her. After addressing the knights to train hard, Elsa says she'd like to introduce someone who will be their instructor for the next few days. Just then, she introduces Kaiser as her father and Kaiser takes it up from there. He then tells the knights that he's still in training as well and suggests that they work together to improve their swordsmanship. When Kaiser commences the training, he says that they'll begin with a warm-up. Just then, one of the knights interrupts him and asks if he could have a moment. Just then, the knight requests that Kaiser and Elsa show them a mock battle since Elsa has talked a lot about his abilities, but his adventurer rank is lower than hers. The knight then says he'd like to see Kaiser's skills before he teaches them. Elsa flares up to counter the knight, but Kaiser says it's fine. He then adds that since it's been so long since they mock battled, he has been wondering how strong Elsa has become too. So Kaiser asks Elsa to show him her power as an S-rank adventurer. Hearing this, Elsa thinks about her status back in the village and how she has trained for 4 years in the capital. Then she reassures herself that she's not the same as she was since she has become an S-rank adventurer and also the knight's commander. Just then, she decides to have a good match and win against Kaiser. Sensing her thoughts, Kaiser challenges her to come at him with all she's got. Meanwhile, Elsa thinks she's never met anyone stronger than Kaiser in the capital since she moved. So she draws her sword while thinking her cheap tricks and techniques won't work against Kaiser. Because of this, Elsa decides that it's best to attack him head-on, so she charges at Kaiser. Elsa then swings her sword, but Kaiser dodges it, making her discover that Kaiser is as fast as ever. So she launches multiple attacks against him, but Kaiser blocks each of her swings, surprising Elsa that he could handle that as well. Despite this, Elsa refuses to back out, so she thrusts her sword towards Kaiser, but he dodges the attack and supports his weight with his hands before disarming Elsa with a hard kick to her hand. When Elsa's sword flies away, she realizes she just messed up, so Kaiser launches his attacks, but Elsa manages to dodge them and grabs her sword back. However, Kaiser presses in without giving her any time to catch her breath. So they continue clashing swords, but Kaiser overwhelms Elsa. Finally, Elsa gets a chance to breathe and analyze her opponent. Just then, she realizes Kaiser is as incredibly strong as she thought. Suddenly, Kaiser dashes at her with tremendous speed and power, making Elsa realize how extraordinary he is. She then wonders why he never managed to become an S-rank adventurer. After Elsa realizes she isn't good enough despite her training to be on par with him, Kaiser lands a powerful kick on her. Despite being an S-rank adventurer and the knight's commander, Elsa wonders what she could do to win. Meanwhile, Kaiser stands as strong as ever with his sword outstretched. Just then, she figures that she should not be struggling to win the mock battle. So she decides it doesn't matter if she wins or loses. After this, Anna figures that Kaiser wants to see how well his daughter has grown, so she charges up and launches an explosive attack on Kaiser. Just then, she screams and says she'll strike with everything she's got. Suddenly, the father and daughter clash, creating a massive explosion within the walls of the barracks and blowing a strong wind on everyone around. After the smoke clears, the gobsmacked knights wonder who brought an RPG to a sword fight. While they get curious about who won the duel, the dust clears and they find Kaiser holding his sword to Elsa's neck. Kaiser then says the match is over, so he takes his sword off Elsa and says her last attack was impressive. However, Elsa dejectedly says it's the best sword swing, but it doesn't have any effect. Just then, she laughs and admits her loss while also complimenting Kaiser's strength. When he hears this, Kaiser says it because he never misses his training and also expresses his surprise at how better Elsa has gotten. He then explains that her sword only broke because it is wooden, and they would have been evenly matched if it was a real sword. After this, Kaiser rubs her head and says he's proud of her. Suddenly, they get swarmed by the knights who then fawn over Kaiser, and he awkwardly thanks them. Meanwhile, Elsa is excited that Kaiser praised her, but she still feels like she's still a long way from becoming like Kaiser, so she decides that she's comfortable with the sense of distance. Just then, Elsa announces that since they've seen Kaiser's abilities, the knight has to learn from him to improve the power of the nation. Hearing this, the knights get excited about how many cheeks they'll clap when they become master swordsmen. Meanwhile, Kaiser announces that he's going to take them to hell and back, so he asks if they'll be able to keep up. Together, the knights say they'll do their best, so Kaiser says they'll be doing a warm-up exercise by running 20 laps around the castle with their armor on. Suddenly, the excitement on their faces vanished. After the warm-ups, the knights collapse and talk about how they're done and how their miserable lives can finally turn into a Superman story. Just then, Kaiser commends them for doing well and explains that being a swordsman requires stamina to march and not just knowing how to wield the sword. So he announces that they'll do the warm-up every day. After this, he announces that they're going into muscle training next, surprising the knights. He then adds that they'll be doing 500 push-ups, sit-ups, back crunches, and sword swings. Surprised by the number, one of the knights asks if he's one digit off, and the other supports him. Just then, Elsa asks Kaiser why he's going easy on them. While the knights protest that the number is too much, Elsa reminds Kaiser that back in the village, her training was twice as strict as this. So Kaiser apologizes and makes it 1,000 swings. He then explains that he was thinking of starting out nice and easy before gradually getting the knights used to it. Freaked out by the ongoing conversation between father and daughter, the knights wonder if they just signed their death certificates. Just then, Kaiser commands the knights to get up and stop running. A few moments later, some of the knights collapsed out of exhaustion while the other could barely lift their swords. Just then, they realize that a genius isn't born but made, so they conclude the training is way too hard. Meanwhile, Kaiser tells Elsa that their normal isn't quite the same as everyone else's. In response, Elsa says she was surprised when she arrived in the city and discovered that the knights' training, which was famous for being strict, felt like a walk in the park for her. So she points out that her training with Kaiser is out of the ordinary. However, Kaiser says he doesn't think the training is that harsh. Just then, a female knight keeps up with the sword swings and Kaiser spots her. Just then, he says the girls are doing quite well, and in response, Elsa says her name is Natalie, a promising knight within the order who often asks Elsa to join her for sword practice. Impressed by this, Kaiser announces that it is time to wrap things up for the day, so he commands them to form pairs. While they pair up, Kaiser adds that they could pair with him too, but the knights are scared of him, so they decide not to get paired with him since he might kill them, even while using a wooden sword. When Kaiser notices no one would team up with him, he decides to focus on teaching them. However, Natalie suddenly shows up and asks to be paired up with Kaiser. So he accepts her proposal and says he looks forward to training with her. Meanwhile, the other knights wonder if Natalie has a death wish. After they take their stands, Kaiser announces that they should get started and challenges Natalie to come at him. Just then, Natalie attacks Kaiser, and he suddenly understands why Elsa says she's got potential. While they continue to duel, Kaiser observes her stance and her eyes, so he concludes that Elsa's got some good subordinates. Suddenly, he draws out his sword thinking Natalie is worth training. However, he knocks her down with the twinkle of an eye. Kaiser then asks if she's okay. In response, Natalie says he's very strong and fighting 3 swords at once is too unfair. Surprised, Kaiser points out that she would be quite impressed if she could see that since an ordinary swordsman would just fall without knowing what hit him. After thanking him, Natalie says it's frustrating because she really tried to land a hit on him, and she has spent the last several years training for just that. When he hears this, Kaiser reminds her that they're just meeting, so he asks what she means. In response, Natalie says she heard about him from Elsa. Because of Elsa's intense father complex, she talks about Kaiser all the time. Natalie then adds that she wanted to land a hit on him because she admires Elsa, who has never landed a hit on him. After complimenting her for being quite enthusiastic, Natalie tells Kaiser that he's wrong and explains that she thinks Elsa would fall madly in love with her if she could land a hit on someone she has never been able to hit. While Kaiser tries to process what he'd just heard, Natalie says she was going to ask Kaiser to give her his daughter if she won. To be sure, Kaiser asks Natalie about what kind of liking she's talking about. In response, Natalie confirms what Kaiser is thinking by saying she wants to do some nasty stuff to his daughter. After fantasizing, Natalie says that they'll be married in the future and have a happy family. Kaiser then asks Natalie what she likes about Elsa, and she says she likes everything about her. So, Natalie lists everything cool about Elsa while Kaiser watches her, amazed. Suddenly, Natalie says she can't forgive Kaiser because he stole Elsa from her. While Kaiser wonders what she means by that, Natalie explains that Elsa decided to leave the dormitories because he decided to come live in the capital. Before this, they always go to the bath together, and they play around squeezing each other's oranges. Just then, Elsa walks up to Kaiser and Natalie and asks if something happened since they look like they were about to jump in each other's faces. However, Natalie denies it and Kaiser backs her up by saying they were talking about the sword. So Elsa smiles and compliments Natalie. While she leaves. In addition to this, Elsa tells Natalie to learn from Kaiser because he can teach her all sorts of things. While Natalie watches Elsa leave, she gets love-struck while Kaiser points out that Natalie is a completely different person when she talks to him. After this, Kaiser adds that he'll support Natalie behind the scenes since everyone has someone they like. Excited about this, Natalie asks for his address and reveals that she'll sneak in at night. When Kaiser grabs Natalie to be sure of what she just said, Natalie tries to divert by saying she's bad with words and also lacks the confidence to win Elsa's heart. However, Kaiser catches her drift and asks how that's related to sneaking into his house. In response, Natalie thinks she could capture Elsa's mind and body by taking her to the point of no return. Just then, Kaiser realizes that Natalie must be delusional and tries to figure out what to do about it quickly. When Kaiser says he can't overlook someone sneaking in at night, Natalie says there are obstacles in love and insinuates that Elsa will love her more if she overcomes Kaiser's disapproval of the relationship. Just then, Natalie asks Kaiser to kiss her on her lips, but Kaiser asks what that is for. In response, Natalie says he must have kissed Elsa when she was a child, and so it would be an indirect kiss with her. After this, Natalie asks Kaiser to tell her what kind of soap Elsa uses. When he asks why, Natalie explains that eating the soap of the person she likes will make her feel as if she's united with the person. Kaiser then says he won't allow any of that and advises Natalie to think of the right way to approach Elsa. Later at the house, Kaiser reads some papers. Elsa walks in and announces that she's going to the bath. In response, Kaiser tells her to take a slow and warm bath. Just then, Kaiser gets suspicious and checks outside the window thinking he saw Natalie. However, he gives up thinking she's not insane enough to follow them home. While he thinks about what's on Natalie's mind, Elsa notices Kaiser's mood and asks if something's up. In response, Kaiser says it's nothing and asks if he can go to the bath together with her. Elsa then tells him that she'd be honored if she did. Shortly after, they both undressed and Kaiser thinks Natalie will definitely try to peep while Elsa takes her bath. So he comes up with a plan to discourage Natalie by making her think he and Elsa always take their bath together. Shortly after this, while they took their bath, Elsa offers to wash Kaiser's back, and he says she doesn't need to. However, Elsa insists and compliments his body while scrubbing his back. Just then, Kaiser senses a presence outside the window and tells Elsa to watch out. Suddenly, they both fall on the bathroom floor and Elsa grabs her milk cannons while telling Kaiser that she feels embarrassed. Just then, Kaiser looks out the window and spots Natalie peeking, so he ditches his towel to give her a view of something better. Overwhelmed by the sight of Kaiser's dragon, Natalie falls from the window while screaming. Feeling satisfied that the evil has been defeated, Kaiser turns to Elsa and asks if he's hurt. In response, Elsa tells him to cover up his junk, so Kaiser apologizes. Which of Kaiser's baddies would you clap first if you had the chance? Leave your answers in the comments to find out what happens next. Thanks for watching.